pleasure to introduce to you the best men. Please give them a round of applause.
Well, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We've been given the honour of being Andrew's best men today. I'm Liam, and this is James. For those who don't know, I shit myself. on behalf of the whole wedding party, let's get it out there. Let's get it out. On behalf of the whole wedding party, we'd like to thank Andrew and Claire for letting us be involved in your special day. We know you've both put a lot of effort into making today so special.
It's amazing to see such a massive turnout today. We know a lot of people have come from quite far away, even if there is no free bar. So a toast to you guys, thank you very much. Thank you, it's a pound to swallow, enjoy it. A huge thank you to Andrea and David, Claire's parents, Jean and Tony, Andy's, and to all the family and friends who had a hand in making this day possible. I'd personally like to say a massive thank you to Nigel, who has undoubtedly made my task a hell of a lot easier today. Thank you so much for that. And to Em, my better half over there, who could probably stand up here and do this speech today. So lots of thank yous there. I think we can agree it's all gone off without a hitch so far, right? Yeah, just wait. All right.
Secondly, I'd like to thank all the bridesmaids today. You all look absolutely beautiful in your dresses. They've all had their parts to play, but we all them a special thank you for keeping a lid on Bridezilla. This morning, we weren't sure she'd turn up. We kept getting word she'd come to her senses. On a serious note though, a toast to the bridesmaids. They all did a fantastic job organising the hen do and gave Claire a night she'd never forget. And I know you made Claire's day today.
And then finally, Claire, I think it's safe to say you look absolutely amazing today. She's simply stunning, am I right? She's okay, yeah. And Andy, you look like you always do, mate. You look a little bit simple and a little bit stunned. And we can't all be winners, but there we go. Thank you. To the bride and groom. We might have forgotten our drink, so if you could do it with us, that'd be good. To the bride and groom. Right, before we begin, big help with Nigel here. He sent us loads and loads of pictures, and you will see some of Andy today. But right at the back of the room over there is a photo album of all these pictures of Andy that I've been telling him not to look at, but I've seen him spy a couple of times. With it, there's a couple of pens. If you could grab one at some point and just write a comment next to one of the photos, we can give him something at the end of the day. Most insulting one wins a round of drinks. From Yong-Ching. So, to the speech. Like him, I think it's safe to say that I have absolutely been bricking this. I've had people all over there today laughing at me about the fact that I keep going red every 5 seconds. And I did what anyone would do when they're nervous, and I turned to Andy and asked for a little bit of advice. And he, being Andy, just said, you know what, mate, just be calm, be yourself, try to tell a few jokes. And if you're good enough at this one, you can do it in my next one. No? Boo! He said it, not me. So nervous as I was, I'm playing it already, I'm giving away tips. Nervous as I was, I thought I'd have a look at a few interesting facts that might have happened either around the time that Andy was born or similar times. And I came up with these. I want to see if you can spot a trend before I tell you what it is. So, 2nd of April, 1863. It's a bit small, you might have to look in. There's a bread riot in a place called Richmond. Right? Might not be interesting on its own, but hold on. 2nd of April, 1917. American troops join World War I. Right? 2nd of April, 1982. Argentina invades the Falklands. In case you've not got the trend yet, nothing good has ever come from the 2nd of April at any point in history, right? And with that being said, 2nd of April, 1990. The birth of Andrew Yong-Ching. Give us a wave, Andy, come on. But I know you are clapping. He is cute, isn't he, to be fair? And we are clapping and we're awing, but let's remember these trends tend to happen a reason. This is where we're headed today, everybody. If you can't see that, I will print that out and have a look for you. That is where we're ended up today. I'm going to leave you on for a couple more seconds, let that sink in. All right? Yeah, I think he deserves a bit of one. Woo! But more on that later. So let's take you back to the beginning. Why am I here? Andy said in his speech, we've been friends now for 26 years. which is a long time. I've known him most of my life. And this all started in Parwell Nursery School. And back then there was the three of us. There was me, Andy, and Chris Northey, you can see on the left there in the white shirt. And we were like a terrible threesome that used to run around. And I knew that we'd be friends when I found my slide. I loved this slide. Every day I'd go to the same slide and stand on top of it. And every day, without me knowing, Chris Northey would come up behind me and kick my ass down this slide. And the last thing I'd see every single time was be Andy's angelic little face, pissing himself laughing at me falling on the floor. But being the good guy that he is, he'd come and put an arm around me and dust me off, make sure that I'm okay, check I'm okay. And then he'd lead me back to the slide, back to Chris Northey, pass me back up so he could do it all over again. But despite this, I'd found that older brother that I always wanted. Being the athletic one, he was the one that was always into sports, even if he did have the wrong kit on. If you can't see that at the back, that is Liverpool. Boo. Boo. And he got that good at sports that later in life, you could actually pay someone a sum of money to watch him get punched in the face over and over again, which is always a plus for everybody. If you're thinking that he won because the other guy's got blood in his face, that was Claire. She was there on the day. But primary school wasn't always kind of sunshine and rainbows for Andy. Although he met his true love much, much, much later in life, and thank God everything's worked out and we had this spectacular day, his first love was a bit of a different story. Who's that, Andy? Andy? You don't know? Okay. Catherine Teeny. She's not here. Is she here? Is she here? She's not here, is she? No, she's all right. We're okay. We're all right. We're safe. It is fair to say that we both had a little bit of a thing for her. But Catherine Teeny also caught me twice in Kissy Catch and not him. So it's a bit safe to say which choice she made. And to be fair, it's not that hard. Look at my competition. But he had looked out at me, for me, all these years. And it got to the point where I thought, I can't let him go on without this. So I decided to make a decision. I'm going to step aside. I'm going to let him have Catherine. So I came up with a plan. I broke her nose. Wasn't my finest hour. Cost me a week's worth of my playtime. I lost my favourite boomerang. And my mother, God bless her, turn around please. This is the face I've had ever since. This is what she looks like. She's never looked at me in the same way. However, two things happened that day. Catherine Teeny learned how to catch. And Andy got his first kiss, so we're not all heroes, are we? But big school was fast approaching, and we were worried that this was going to be the end of a good run that we'd had together. And then one day we were sat. We'll wait for him to turn around, shall we? All right, man, pay attention, come on. You're right there. And we were sat on that bench in the canteen, remember? Right before primary school, you don't do? No, okay. We were sat on this bench and we had these letters from St. Peter's, remember now? Okay. And we opened these letters together, we had no idea what was going to be inside them. Big page of text, didn't understand it, but there was a number, and we had the same number on that letter. Is it clocking yet? No. Trying to be sentimental here, you know, you can try. 7-2. Do you remember that number?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Jesus Christ. Our form room, he's lying, isn't he? He's full on lying. Our form rooms, and I clearly thought it was a sentimental moment, maybe not. It meant that for another 5 years, would the good run would continue. And we were so happy, well I was so happy, I thought you were. But
It wasn't the time.
we're learning a lot today, aren't we? Rep my speech, you prick. Which brings us to the secondary years. And we have photos of that, don't worry. Isn't puberty great?
Some nice pictures there. Well, when I first met Andrew, I was in the first year of high school, and when I first met him, I absolutely hated him. Without really knowing him. I think it's because he thought he was better than me at football. He was really not. But my first ever conversation with Andrew, I don't mind calling him Andrew, it's the strangest conversation I've ever had in my life. Do you remember it? Oi?
Doesn't pay attention, does he?
Do you remember our first ever conversation? I said to him, it's so weird, have you ever seen The Lost Star? And he said, no, let's find it in our llamas. And at this stage, I knew I'd met someone as weird as me. So, if you have seen The Lost Star, we are still looking for it. But during school, Andy did come in very handy for a few things. Getting to copy his work in science was one highlight, but getting to hammer pens in his afro was always my favourite game. Believe it or not, Andrew did grow an afro, despite the receding hairline that we see today. But to be fair, I did a lot myself for Andrew during school. Every day I gave him food known as dailies. I'm not sure if your mum and dad know this, but you used to make him sandwiches every day for dinner, didn't you? Well, you used to sell them or just give them away. And he used to demand food from me every day. His request was simple though, a piece of my flapjack or a cornflake cake and some dinner. So I'd do it. So now, when I'm eating my tea later, now you know why I'm hiding.
But despite his demands, Andy was always a popular guy. Always has been. And that trend didn't end at high school either. He'd make friends everywhere that we went. I remember one time in college, we'd parked up on this hill to have a cigarette. Now, parents didn't know at this time, so mum, dad, I'm sorry, Gene, it was Andy's idea. And totally his idea. But because he was so good at making friends, Andy immediately caught the eye of a very nice man in a van that parked up next to us. Guy could not stop giving him a wave and a bit of a wink. Place was called The Beacon. Is anyone from around the area? A couple of people. Why'd you put your hand up quickly? Do you know it? Do you? Yeah. Took us a very long time to realise it was a dogging spot, so safe to say we didn't go back there again, but Andy got a good few winks in. But with a face like his, he was bound to be popular, and it was in college he really started to experiment with this face of his. Huh?
When you look at these photos, please just look at Andrew.
There's a better one of Liam coming in as well, hold on. And he started trying to it started as this smouldering kind of pose that he'd like to do on photos. He'd pucker his lips and things. And I'm sure you'd agree it made the ladies weak at the knees. But it didn't stop there. Or there. Let's notice Liam's jumper there, shall we?
By the way, that is Andrew's jumper. I wore Andrew's jumper that day.
Or even there. It carried on for quite a while. These were known as the MySpace days. I think that's the best way of putting it. But it was that handsome face that finally caught the eye of the love of his life, and I'm assuming that's exactly what she fell for. Yeah.
No, I've known Claire and Andrew together, and both apart. And when you see them together, you know they've got a special bond. I always remember the first time Andrew told me he liked Claire, and Claire said she was interested in Andy, so I said I'd arrange a night out for us all to have some drinks. By the end of the night, Claire was collapsed on the toilet floor. Andrew was holding her hair back while she was being sick. It's fair to say not much has changed since.
Now, I had a slightly different experience because Andy's jumped the gun. He stole half my speech here, so thanks for that, mate. But as I live in London, it would be a case of I'd come home once every blue moon. And every time I come home, he'd tell me about this girl, Claire, that he'd met. And he wasted no time telling me about that first conversation either. Please ask him about it. It's really interesting. There's more than what he just said. But I promised I couldn't swear, so I won't go in that one. But for me, really, what stood out was that every time I'd come back, I'd see this same old goofy kid. Without a shadow of a doubt, he'd be the same kid. Until one year, he didn't. Claire, they say that your better half brings out the best in you. And you have done that for Andy in every single way. He is the man that he is today because of you. I want you to know that. But now, what you all came here to see. Andy in a nun outfit.
Right, stag do. When it came to the stag do, Andy put his dignity, well-being and self-respect into the hands of the most responsible men he knew. Unfortunately for him, that was us. After much discussion about where we should go and fair to fulfil Princess Andrew's needs, we settled on Nottingham and the boys landed in Sherwood Forest. But first of all, I'd like to thank all the lads who came to Andy's stag do. You all made an amazing effort and had an amazing time. And they say what happens in a stag do should always stay in a stag do. However, I will share a few minor incidents. Now, first of all, Claire, I didn't tell you about the stripper, but neither did any of us expect to see Adam Parker, bothered naked, cut himself a healthy vegan meal in the kitchen? And we've all got to deal with the image that we saw that day. And so should you. James played a video. I want to joke, look at his face.
Stand up, Adam, give us a wave, come on. Up you get.
I told you I'd ruin you. No, on the stag do, we
have got the video though, just...
Yeah, we do actually have the video if anyone wants to see it later on. Now, on the stag do, we gave Andrew a list of challenges to complete, and it's fair to say he failed on a majority of them. Having said this, he did turn a few heads in his sexy on outfit, and I think he slowly started to like it. And I think he's kept it on somewhere as well for safekeeping. We did archery and clear laser shooting, and it's fair to say Andrew's performances in these were nothing short of embarrassment, and he's still to this day blaming it on the costume he had on. Now, I hope I don't embarrass you both too much, and I'd personally like to say you're both my best friends, and I'm honoured to be still up here for you both today.
From all of us, every single person in that photo, everyone in this room, we really do mean it. We are really, truly happy for you both. In the 26 years that I've known Andy Clare, I've never once, not once, seen him as happy as he was when you walked down that aisle. You truly are the perfect couple, and on behalf of everybody here, I think I'm safe in saying we wish you all the best in the future.
Now a toast to bride and groom, please.
Bride and groom.
Thank you very much. Thank you.